Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
11 small lives and residents are safe tonight after fire breaks out inside a Belvedere home. The rescue made possible by a piece of safety equipment every home should have.
And entrepreneurs holding one of Illinois' newest cannabis licenses will have to wait a little longer to use it. The ruling a judge must make before they can join the growing industry.
Plus, going for the gold at Rockford's Discovery Center. Organizers show us the important lessons kids can learn as Olympians compete. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Police investigate a motorcycle versus SUV accident in Loves Park.
The crash happened around 12:30 this afternoon at North Alpine and Riverside. This was the scene. You can see the passenger side of the SUV was seriously damaged. The motorcycle left lying in the middle of the intersection. No word on injuries or what caused the accident.
2 dogs and 9 puppies are rescued from an early morning fire in Belvedere. This happened just after 3 on Menominee Street near North State. Fire crews found smoke coming from a laundry room inside a 2-story home. First responders quickly put the flames out. People living there got out safely thanks to a working smoke detector. Firefighters rescued the dogs. No one was hurt. Investigators are now looking into what caused the fire. Damage is estimated at $25,000.
The Illinois Attorney General's office reveals it has spent more than $2.5 million to deal with a massive ransomware attack. The April 10th attack was linked to a group based in Russia. Attorney General Kwame Raoul told the Chicago Tribune he never considered paying the ransom demanded by the hackers. He hasn't revealed how much they were seeking. Raoul says taxpayer money is now being used to rebuild systems and notify people whose personal information may have been exposed. 55 new marijuana retail store licenses are awarded in Illinois after a Thursday lottery drawing, but they can't be issued until a judge rules on a lawsuit. The plaintiffs in the case are challenging a provision that awarded majority veteran-owned companies an extra 5 points. As it turned out, only applicants with perfect scores initially qualified for licenses, and only veteran-owned teams got perfect scores. The winners were selected from more than 600 applicants. In total, 185 licenses will be granted this year. A hearing on the lawsuit is scheduled for August 9th.
Road crews are set to start work on the next phase of improvements on West State Street in Rockford. It's phase 2 of 4 on the $9 million project. Monday, crews will begin to relocate utilities between Independence and Day Avenues. That should be completed in October. Work on the road will then start.
Phase 2 is going to include the same type of improvements as Phase 1, a complete roadway reconstruction, separated lanes with a median just like in Phase 1. You'll have the arterial decorative street lighting as well be extended. The multi-use path will be extended as well on the south side of the street.
That section of West State will have posted detours. State and city funds are paying for the project.
Riding a bike is a great way to stay fit and decrease stress levels, but it's important to ensure you're being safe when riding. A pair of recent bicycle-related deaths in the U.S. call attention to the importance of bike safety. Former Wyoming Senator Mike Enzi and New York Jets assistant coach Greg Knapp recently died in bicycling accidents. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, 1,089 bicyclists died in 2019, and hundreds of thousands of people are injured each year.
The most serious injury to concern yourself with regarding bike injuries would be a head injury. Even though you're close to the ground, if you're not wearing a helmet, you can get serious life-threatening head injuries from simple, seemingly minor bicycle crashes or accidents.
In addition to always wearing a helmet, Dr. Wall suggests wearing closed-toe shoes and socks, not sandals. Other safety precautions to keep in mind include riding your bike on the right side of the road with traffic and paying close attention to traffic signs and signals.
Just a few minutes ago, you heard Cannabis at Rockford City Market saying the hot weather has broken.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out there, and people are heading to downtown Rockford to enjoy that great weather. Maybe some sprinkles, but some great food and finds as well. That's where we also find Alexis Carpello.
Yeah, Eric and Mimi, today marks the halfway point of City Market, so if you haven't made it down already, you still have time to do so. It's the same traditional City Market, but with a few new twists. The market's footprint has expanded, so it allows more space for vendors to sprawl out on Water and State Streets. Rockford City Market Executive Director Kathy McDermott says this year has already been more successful than last year.
2020 to this year actually is really no comparison, to be honest. We have so many more visitors this year and vendors. I want to say our attendance is over double what we were the entire last year's season.
Coming up at 6 on Eyewitness News, hear from a small business owner it's her first year here at City Market and how successful she has been already. Reporting live in Rockford for your home team, I'm Alexis Carpello.
Looks like a great time. All right, thanks, Alexis.
Kids didn't have to travel to Tokyo to participate in the Olympics this morning or this afternoon. That was the theme for this Family Fun Day at Rockford's Discovery Center Museum. The Olympic spirit was on display as kids had some fun while also learning a little. Some of it may have tired boys and girls out, but organizers say the friendly fun offers some Olympic insight.
This just gives a kind of a little bit of a peek at the reality of that there's science everywhere. We're always trying to tell people that, and even in sports, even in your favorite sports. And frankly, some of this, especially for the younger ones, is just plain fun.
Discovery Center has a couple more Family Fun Days planned this summer. If you'd like to visit the museum, reservations are encouraged. Capacity is limited. Head to mystateline.com for a link to sign up.
The Belvedere YMCA and Park District come together to offer a fun day in the sun. Families gathered at William Grady Pool this afternoon. It's part of the Y's Y on the Fly program. Today there were contests, games, and crafts. Ida Public Library gave away free 24-count boxes of crayons. There were free ice cream sandwiches, too. Those were handed out by the Belvedere Police Department.
Our whole goal in the parks along with us is just to bring the community together, make sure that we can provide a fun and safe environment for families and kids in the community.
The next Y on the Fly event will be held August 7th at General Mills Park. There, the Y will help Redemption Church give away school backpacks. The federal eviction moratorium is set to expire tomorrow. It was put in place by the CDC last fall in an effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. In a
last-ditch effort, lawmakers are trying to extend the moratorium to help the estimated 11.4 million Americans behind on rent. Our Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
The Supreme Court says it is unlikely to approve any extension of the eviction moratorium unless it comes from Congress.
It's an emergency for all of us.
Friday, California Congresswoman Maxine Waters introduced legislation to extend the eviction moratorium until the end of the year.
I don't think any of us relish seeing what could happen to these families if we do not extend this eviction moratorium.
But Oklahoma Congressman Tom Cole says this is a problem of Democrats' own making.
The Biden administration and the majority have done nothing. And now we're being asked to take an emergency action to kick the can down the road yet again.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is calling on the CDC to extend the provision to give Congress more time to work out the details.
I think this is something that will work out. It isn't about any more money. The money is there.
Pelosi says state and local governments also need more time to set up the programs that can distribute the money.
We're not going away from this issue, whether it's now or shortly thereafter.
But West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito says the government can't ignore the needs of the landlords.
If they're not having their rents paid, that really is a financial burden to a lot of people that employ a lot of people.
In Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Now, your first warm weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, good evening. Welcome back. It is a little cooler this Friday evening at City Market than what it was last Friday when we were talking temperatures that were in the 90s and the heat index up close to 100 degrees. But if you are heading out this evening, you may need to bring the umbrella or at least a jacket with a hood because we've got a few light showers and a couple of sprinkles that have actually been coming down here for us the last half hour or so. And I think this will be the trend as we go through the rest of this evening. So something to keep in mind if you are planning on heading out wherever you may be going. Hey, let's take it just right down State Street. overlooking the State Street Bridge with our Mercy House SkyTrack camera, overlooking the Rock River. We've had the thick cloud cover for much of the day today, and that's really held our temperatures down here for much of this afternoon. In fact, we've stayed in the 60s as well as in the 70s. Satellite radar, we've got the cloud cover that has been in place, and from that you see those steadier showers that have been working in from the northwest. With that rain, it is encountering a little bit more dry air. However, we're starting to see more saturation take place. So that's where we're getting some of these sprinkles. And as that continues the next couple of hours, we'll eventually see some light rainfall here as we head through this evening. Temperature-wise, our numbers now sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s. So for some, we didn't even make it out of the 60s. So that means our temperatures 24 hours ago, at least for today, a good 15 to 20 degrees cooler than what we were this time yesterday. And that kind of cooler trend, that is expected to take us in here as we head throughout the next several days. Futurecasts will be able to show as we go through the night. Notice it doesn't really keep that rain. I think it's a little too dry for us this evening. So we'll hang on to a few light showers through about 9, 10 o'clock this evening. You've got a storm complex that'll develop to the southwest overnight tonight. So we'll see some of that cloud cover spill in during the overnight and then into early tomorrow. A mix of sun and clouds for Saturday afternoon. Temperatures will be back in the low 80s. There is a cold front that comes in from the north late Saturday evening. That could fire off an isolated shower thunderstorm. Nothing severe for us, and the overall coverage expected to stay fairly light as we go throughout the evening. Cold front passes through. Winds will be shifting around then to the northeast for Sunday. This means another cooler day while we'll stay right around that upper 70 near 80 degree mark. You've got that northeasterly breeze and low humidity. Low humidity, kind of the name to the game here these next several days, even going into the first week of August. Now, across Wisconsin and Minnesota, we do have an air quality alert. This does run through Sunday for our southern Wisconsin counties, Green Rock and Walworth. This goes through Sunday evening as we've seen more smoke and haze coming in from the wildfires that have been up to the north in Canada and out to the west. So as our jet stream kind of positions itself a little further here to the northwest, we'll actually see an increase in that smoke and haze. And for some that are a little bit more sensitive to those particulates, you might have to keep an eye on that and just keep that in the back of your mind, especially with that air quality alert up to the north for the weekend. 61 degrees for us tonight. You've got a couple of light showers, sprinkles here this evening. Temperature for us tomorrow afternoon, that'll stay in the upper 70s, low 80s, right around 80 degrees here in Rockford. Partly sunny skies, an isolated shower storm as we head late into the afternoon and evening. 79 on Sunday, upper 70s on Monday, guys. We'll keep the upper 70s and that slight chance for a shower Monday and Tuesday. Just as we get these disturbances kind of working in, we'll gradually start to see those temperatures warm back into the mid 80s as we head towards the end of next week.
Now, the Nicholson Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
We won't recognize the Cubs tonight when they take the field against the Nationals. What was left of the 2016 championship core has been blown up. In the last 24 hours, the Cubs have dealt Anthony Rizzo to the Yankees, Javier Baez and Trevor Williams to the Mets, Chris Bryant to the Giants, Craig Kimbrell to the White Sox, and Jake Marinsnick to the Padres. So you can also throw Ryan Tepera in there, who's now a White Sox. It's a staggering turnover and a tough blow for Cubs fans everywhere. But we all saw this coming, or should have seen it coming, last winter when the Cubs traded Yu Darvish. There's no question who the villain is in all this. Tom Ricketts and Cubs ownership for not wanting to spend money. Yeah, they signed Jason Hayward to a big deal several years ago, and they spent money initially on Yu Darvish when they first acquired him. But since then, the Ricketts have spent money like they're flat broke. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, Mets, and a few other teams are spending like they're printing money. Who would have thought in the fall of 2016 that the Cubs would win only one championship? What went wrong besides the Ricketts being tight with their money? Well, for starters, they didn't re-sign the most important guy in their World Series run, closer Aroldis Chapman. They had no interest in re-signing him. Faulty starting pitching. Jason Hamill, John Lackey, John Lester, and Jake Arrieta were all on the wrong side of 30, and Jose Quintana never panned out. Injuries to Bryant and Rizzo took them out of the lineup for long stretches and curtailed their production. And poor prospect development. The Cubs farm system hasn't offered much in recent years. Now, if you're a White Sox fan, you've got to be ecstatic about the addition of Kimbrel if he keeps pitching like he has so far this season. Adding him with Liam Hendricks plus adding Tepera, the Sox bullpen is now incredibly deep. And the way playoff baseball is played these days, the bullpen's the most important part of a team. And Kimbrel isn't just a 3-month rental for the Sox. He's also signed through next year. What an October it could be on the South Side. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Candace will have a final look at weather in just a moment.
First, here's a look at what's coming on News Nation tonight.
Tonight on the Donlin Report, the rent is due. Hundreds of thousands of people facing eviction across the country, possibly as soon as tomorrow. An attorney breaks down the president's pushback for more time and what happens if you still can't afford the rent. Now here's Leland Vittert with a preview of On Balance.
Thanks, Joe. Confidence in Kamala Harris is plummeting. Why lawmakers on both sides say she should be pulled from border duty. And who should take her place? The former head of ICE weighs in. That's coming up on Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime.
You can catch News Nation tonight on cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Well, let's head back out to Candace at City Market. She's on the move.
That's right. Candace, you have a sweet ride.
Yeah, guys, we have decided to take our show on the road here. We're on Trolley 36. Trolley 36. We're going for a little ride. I thought it was a nice night for that here for us this evening. I will say if you do have to head out, just grab the umbrella. We've got a couple of showers that'll be dotting the skies here over the next couple of hours. Our first warn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Temperatures for us tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow we're right near 80 for the afternoon. We'll see a few isolated showers, thunderstorms late afternoon, evening. Cold front comes in, brings us into the upper 70s on Sunday. Upper 70s, low 80s into next week, slowly warming, guys, towards the middle to end part of next week. I don't know, depending on how this ride goes, we may or may not be back for the 6th, or you may see us right here on the 6th. Eric, maybe right back over to you.
Watch out for that guy in the red shirt next to you. Stay safe.